Her boss filed expense reports for client lunches that never happened. Meals with clients who, when asked, said they hadn't seen her in months. And that little detail, was the thing that finally buried her. But the fake lunches aren't even the craziest part of this story. I promise you, this gets so much worse. Okay, so, picture this. You've spent years, grinding your way up at a company. Good reviews, consistent raises, a manager who actually sees you and fights for you. You are on the trajectory. The one people talk about. You know how rare that is. So you don't take a single day of it for granted. And then your manager retires. And in walks someone new. A supervisor. Polished. Politically sharp. The kind of person who walks into a room and immediately knows which people matter and starts working them. Upper management loves her. She's charming. She's confident. She seems like exactly what the team needed. Seems like. Because underneath that, something completely different is happening. And our girl, the one who built her career from the ground up at this place, is about to figure out exactly what. So within the first 6 months of this new supervisor taking over. 6 months. 2 promotions that were basically already hers go to other people. Okay, fine. New leadership. New dynamics. Maybe just bad timing. But then her ideas start showing up in the supervisor's presentations. Concepts she pitched privately, in one-on-one meetings, suddenly being presented to the whole floor like they were born in the supervisor's brain. No credit, no mention, just gone, absorbed. And you'd think that would be enough to raise some flags, right? She's getting left off meeting invites for projects she is actively leading. She shows up to her own work and someone else is already running it. And then, a major client campaign deck comes back with complaints. Errors that were not there when she submitted her final version. Somehow, between her hitting send and that document reaching the client, it had been changed. I'm sorry. What? She goes to HR. Quietly, carefully, because she's not trying to blow anything up. She just wants someone to know what's happening. And HR basically pats her on the head and says, and I cannot make this up. Work on your relationship with your direct supervisor. Work on your relationship with the person who is actively dismantling your career. Cool. Great advice. Very helpful. So here's where she made the move that changed everything. She stopped talking, and she started watching. For 6 weeks, she kept a private log. Timestamps on emails. Screenshots of internal messages. She pulled version histories from shared documents. Because yes, shared drives keep records of who edited what and when. And apparently the supervisor did not think about that. She started CCing herself on important communications. Just quietly, methodically, building a picture. And what she found, without even digging that hard, was damning. Exhibit A. There's an email thread. She pitches a specific campaign concept to the supervisor in a private meeting. 2 weeks later, that exact concept, not inspired by it, not a version of it, the exact concept, gets presented to the VP of marketing as the supervisor's own original idea. The original pitch email, time-stamped 2 weeks earlier, is sitting right there in her inbox. The whole time. Exhibit B. A client email. She wrote it. The whole thing. Start to finish. The supervisor forwarded it to senior leadership with her name scrubbed out, presenting it as an example of her own communication style. Okay, but wait. It gets worse. Exhibit C. And this one genuinely made my jaw drop. The shared document drive. The version history on a competitor analysis report she authored shows the supervisor going in and replacing her name in the author field with her own name. She went in and changed the author field. The audacity. The absolute unhinged audacity of that move. Like, did she think version histories weren't a thing? Did she just not care? I have so many questions. So at this point she has a folder. A real folder. Of documented theft. Of someone systematically stealing her work. Her ideas. Her credit. Her career. For 2 straight years. And she still hasn't told anyone. She's just watching. Collecting. Waiting. And then comes the moment that cracks the whole thing open. She's on a client call. And the client, completely casual, almost as an afterthought, mentions that they haven't seen the supervisor in months. Just slips it in there, conversationally. And she clocks it immediately. Because weeks ago, the supervisor filed an expense report for a client lunch. With that exact client, a lunch that, according to the client themselves, never happened. She is filing fake expense reports, billing the company for meals that don't exist. This is where she could have panicked. Could have gone straight to HR and blown it all up emotionally. Could have confronted the supervisor directly. Could have posted about it, vented to colleagues, let it get messy. She did none of that. She went back through the records. Quietly. She added the expense fraud to the folder. She ended up with 63 pages of documentation. 63 pages. Then she requested a meeting. Not with HR. Not with anyone in her direct chain of command. She went straight to the VP of marketing. And she framed the request carefully. She said she had compliance concerns she wasn't comfortable raising with her direct supervisor. Given that supervisor's direct involvement, that framing got her in the door. She walked in calm. She laid the documents out. Chronologically. She didn't cry. She didn't editorialize. She didn't make speeches. She didn't make it personal. She just walked through the evidence, page by page, and let the facts carry the weight. She says she noticed the VP's expression shift somewhere around page 12. The supervisor was gone within 3 weeks. And the karma? Oh, the karma was thorough. She was told afterward, off the record, that the expense fraud alone would have been enough to end it. There was apparently more fraud beyond what she'd even found. More fake lunches. More phantom expenses. The intellectual property theft. The stolen ideas. The scrubbed author fields. The forwarded emails. Was described to leadership as a serious HR issue they'd been completely unaware of. They had no idea. This woman had been running a whole operation right under their noses. Now, did she immediately get the promotions she'd been passed over for? No, not right away. And here's the thing. Somewhere along the way, that had stopped being the point. What she got instead was something harder to put a label on. Confirmation. Confirmation that she hadn't been paranoid. That she hadn't been difficult. Or overly sensitive. Or imagining it. That 2 years of feeling like the ground was shifting under her feet. That feeling was correct. It had been deliberate. Systematic. Professional sabotage. From start to finish. She says the moment she keeps coming back to isn't the day the supervisor got let go. It's the morning after her meeting with the VP. Before anything had been made official. When she sat down at her desk and felt her shoulders just drop. Like, physically, drop. She hadn't realized until that moment how much tension she'd been holding in her body for 2 straight years. The constant low-grade stress of knowing something was wrong and being unable to prove it. Of smiling through meetings while watching her own work get handed to someone else. That's the moment, shoulders dropping, before anyone even knew what was coming. Her advice: if you're in something like this, start documenting. Not out of paranoia, not to plot anything, just because you deserve to know whether your instincts are telling you the truth. Hers were. The evidence was there the whole time. She just finally started collecting it. So here's what I need from you. She spent 6 weeks quietly building a 63-page case instead of ever confronting her boss directly. Do you think she handled this the right way? Or should she have spoken up sooner? Drop your verdict in the comments right now. I'm reading every single one. Next up, a story that made our entire team sit in silence for a full minute after we finished reading it. You do not want to miss it. Subscribe so you never miss a single drop of drama. Stories shared on this channel are inspired by real experiences posted online. All details have been anonymized and rewritten. Any resemblance to specific individuals is coincidental.